Why do people look tiny from far away? Hi, welcome to Curious Kids Every Day. I'm Josh. How are you doing today? It's so good to hear from you. Hey, have you ever been playing at a playground and you saw some kids playing on the opposite end of the playground, like really far away from you? Did those kids look normal-sized or did they look small from far away? Yeah, they looked really small, didn't they? But if you were to walk over to them as you get closer, do they get even smaller or do they start to get bigger? Yeah, they start to get bigger. And the closer you get, the bigger they get, until eventually they just look normal-sized. Now, is that because anyone that isn't standing right next to you shrinks in real life? No. I mean, if that were true, then everyone you know would want to be standing right next to you all the time. No, please! I have to stand right here, or I'm gonna shrink again! Don't walk away! Obviously, something else is going on. People aren't shrinking and growing just because you're walking around. I was thinking about this kind of thing today because I got an email from a curious kid named Micah. Micah wondered, why do people look tiny when they are far away? Imagine you're standing outside on a sunny day. Light from everything around you is bouncing off objects and traveling into your eyes. Trees, swings, people, dogs, clouds, all of it is sending light toward you. See, here's the crazy thing. Your eyes don't actually see objects. I know, that sounds weird, but it's true. They don't see objects. What they see is the light that bounces off of those objects. Think about it like this. Imagine that you wake up in the middle of the night, okay, and it's really dark in your room, and you decide to get up to go to the bathroom or something. But while you're walking through your room, your foot kicks a toy along the way. Now, you couldn't see that toy because it was so dark. But that toy, was it still there even though you couldn't see it? Yeah. You just couldn't see it because there's no light bouncing off of it. You couldn't see it, but you could definitely feel it. Now, here's another important thing about light. Light spreads out as it travels. When something is very close to you, like your hand right in front of your face, a lot of light from that object enters your eyes. It takes up a big space on the back of your eye, on a part called the retina. Your brain sees that large image and says, okay, that thing must be really big. But when something is far away, like a person across the playground, much less light from that person reaches your eyes. The light has spread out over a long distance, and by the time it gets to you, only a small amount enters your eyes. That small amount of light makes a smaller image on your retina. Your brain sees the smaller image and says, that thing must be small. See, your brain is just guessing. A lot of what your brain does is take guesses. It's just that it's really good at guessing. It's had a lot of training. Your brain doesn't actually know how big something is. It figures it out by using clues. One of the biggest clues is how much space the image takes up in your eyes. Smaller image usually means farther away. Bigger image usually means closer. This idea is called perspective. When you see a kid across the playground, you see them as very small, but your brain recognizes and understands that you are seeing them from your perspective, and your perspective is far away from them, and that's why they look small. They're not actually small, they're just far away from you. Perspective is how your brain understands size and distance based on what your eyes see. Basically, light is bouncing off of so many objects into your eyes all the time, and your brain has to try and guess all of these things to figure out how far or how close everything is in relation to where you are. It's making these calculations constantly. This is why airplanes high in the sky look tiny, even though they're actually huge. It's why mountains far away can look smaller than buildings near you, even though mountains are much, much bigger. Here, I've got an idea. Hold up one finger right in front of your face. It looks pretty big, doesn't it? Now hold the same finger out as far as your arm can reach. Does it look bigger or smaller now? Much, much smaller. Now, did your finger actually shrink? No, it's the same finger the whole time. When something is closer, it takes up more space in your eyes. When it's farther away, it takes up less space. That's perspective. Obviously, that didn't actually trick you. You didn't think that your finger was getting bigger and smaller. But, according to your brain, it was smaller, right? But your brain is making those calculations, going off of experience and knowing, hey, look, these are the fingers. They're always the same size, regardless of whether they're in front of the face or a little bit further out. It's the same finger. Even if it looks to me like it's bigger or smaller, it's the same size. So basically, your brain is just doing the best it can with the information it's being given. Now, all this talk about light has been making me think about our ultimate light source. Do you know what that is? What is our ultimate light source here on Earth? Yep, it's the sun. Think about the sun up in the sky. When you look up at it, it doesn't really look huge. I mean, you could cover it with your thumb if you held your arm at the right angle, right? But the sun is actually enormous. It's so big that 1 million Earths could fit inside of it. So, why doesn't it look giant? Because it is very, 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 very far away. It's about 93 million miles away. The sun is so far from Earth that even though it's incredibly huge, only a small amount of its light fits into your eyes at once. That small image makes it look small in the sky. But if you were somehow able to safely travel to the sun, this is crazy to think about, but you'd still be nearly 1 million miles away from the surface of the sun when it started to take up your entire field of view. So if you were able to safely stare straight into the sun, you would still be nearly 1 million miles away when the sun would just be all you saw. To the left, to the right, up and down, while you were facing the sun. Isn't that crazy? Everything your eye could see would be the sun, and you'd still be about 860,000 miles from the sun. Now, put your hand in front of your face until all that your eyes can see is your hand. Yeah, basically to do that, you have to completely cover your eyes, right? Imagine something so big that you could be nearly 1,000,000 miles away from it, and it was still all you could see. So now that you know how far away the sun is and how perspective works, the sun doesn't really seem so small in the sky, does it? Something that far away is still that big in the sky? Kinda makes you think differently about it, doesn't it? That's what I call perspective. Oh, I keep thinking I'm done, but then I think of one more thing. Speaking of the sun, you know, you can see perspective in action when you look up and you can see the sun and the moon in the sky. Because the sun looks about the same size in the sky as the moon does, doesn't it? But the sun is way bigger than the moon. The only reason they look similar is because the moon is so much closer to us and the sun is much farther away. So, a smaller object closer looks as big as a large object very far away. That's perspective. And that's pretty amazing. Okay, let's have a quick quiz. If something looks smaller in your eyes, what is your brain usually guessing? That it is farther away. And if something looks really big in your vision, what does your brain guess? That it is close. That's why it's so crazy how big the sun is. If you got within 1,000,000 miles of it, your brain would be guessing that you are a lot closer than you are, because it would be all that you could see. It wouldn't make sense that you were still almost 1,000,000 miles away. I bet our brains can't even really comprehend an object as big as the sun if we were to get close to it. I wonder how the brain would react to that. All right, let's play true or false. True or false? People look smaller far away because they actually shrink. No, that's false. True or false? Objects closer to your eyes take up more space in your vision. That is true. True or false? The sun looks smaller in the sky because it is small. False. The sun is huge. True or false? Distance can change how big something looks without changing its real size. Yep, that's true. Would you rather be able to zoom your vision like a camera, making faraway things look close up anytime you want? Or would you rather be able to shrink yourself so everything around you looks huge? I think being able to shrink down so that you can experience the world where everything around you is huge, that just sounds so fun. I wouldn't want to live that way, but if I could experience it just for a few minutes, I think that would be so much fun. Okay, let's play a few rounds of What Am I? What am I? I travel from objects into your eyes. I bounce off of things. And without me, you couldn't see anything. What am I? I am light. Here's another one. What am I? I look small. I'm actually incredibly huge. And you would still be very far away when I filled your vision. What am I? I am the sun. One more. What am I? I don't know sizes for sure. I make smart guesses. And I try to help you understand distance. What am I? I am your brain. Well, the next time you see someone far away and they look tiny, now you know what's really going on. Your eyes are seeing less light from far away, and your brain is using perspective to make sense of it all. It takes all the light coming into your eyes and makes a ton of smart guesses every second of every day to help make sense of the world around you. Pretty crazy. What kind of question do you think we'll ask tomorrow on Curious Kids Every Day? I can't wait to find out. So until then, keep asking questions and stay curious, kids. And for all the grown-ups listening, thank you so much for telling other parents about this show. Please visit CuriousKidsEveryday.com to get a free printable with activity ideas that don't involve screens. Those are the best kinds of adventures to have. That's CuriousKidsEveryday.com. See you tomorrow.